I would do anything to save my daughter from her influence and neglect. How can a father do anything less?
You son of a bitch. Son of a bitch.
Now, Mr. Franklin, you understand that your wife is looking at a possible third strike. We're talking 25 years to life here. I've tried to help Patricia with her problem. Because I love my daughter, and she deserves a good mother. But I haven't had a lot of success with Patricia. So it may be time to have someone else intervene.
Daddy.
Shh, shh, shh. Okay. I think we're done here. Listen, can I have a minute alone with my daughter?
Patricia. Patricia.
Our daughter was supposed to have a normal life. You're separate from that. Everything else. What do you want? What do you want?
No, I need those transcripts by the end of the day. Thank you.
The DEA should be picking up Danny Franklin any time now.
The DEA is lucky we got lucky.
Except for all the times we haven't. Patricia and Allison have been fined and put on probation, and they're going to be in mandatory counseling.
This office doesn't make deals with drug dealers anymore.
Allison's also going to be staying with her grandmother while Patricia's in mandatory rehab. Locking them up and throwing away the key would have cost a lot of time and money and wouldn't have solved anyone's problems. Danny Franklin is the one who deserves to be in jail the most, and he will be.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. We're finished.
You wanted to see me? In a minute. You first.
Judge Lazo is running his courtroom like he's allergic to it. We're backed up with continuances over in juvenile.
I'll take care of it. The DEA is nailing Danny Franklin today.
That's great.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you. But it probably wouldn't have happened if it weren't for Jennifer's taking the initiative. Making something out of nothing, all those cliches. I'm transferring you to Assistant District Attorney Lopez's department. Pay your dues, work like a dog, and you'll get a shot at prosecuting the big stuff.
Hello.
Not going to be a shortage of that anytime soon.
Don't you have more important things to worry about than pep talks and promotions?
Excuse me. The grand jury's back.
With all due respect, I'd much rather be taking any new assignments from the person who's going to have your job next week. I'm sure you would.
According to the definition of criminal solicitation, Ruth Wright can be held liable if she authorized or encouraged Matthew Dole to inflict great bodily harm on the person of Nick Benedict. It is the opinion of the grand jury that the evidence presented here does not satisfy one or more of the necessary criteria. It is therefore the ruling of this court that no indictment on the charge of criminal solicitation shall be granted against Ruth Wright at this time. This court is adjourned.
With this kind of tragedy, people want to blame someone. But the terrible truth is, sometimes it's simply one person, one monstrous person, who commits a horrible act of evil. Matthew Dole is just that. And he deserves to be punished. And I shall continue to preach the word of God. Don't do it! Alice, you're not like that!
show host, Ruth Wright, is listed in critical condition following today's shooting. Wright's attorney, Daniel Lawson, sustained a gunshot wound to the chest and was pronounced dead at the scene. Alice Benedict, whose 22-year-old son Nick was beaten to death by one of Wright's listeners earlier this year, is the alleged suspect in these shootings and is currently in custody and under suicide watch at County USC.
Is District Attorney going to prosecute Alice Benedict?
We're not there yet. That'll be all.
Shouting at a distraught mother with a gun in her hand. Getting her to turn and look at you.
You would have done the same thing.
I'm not as sure as you are. You did your job today, and you did it well.
How am I different from Ruth Wright? Didn't I incite Alice to take action? If I would have just let it go, if I would have let
You
her...
couldn't have foreseen what happened today. And aside from a couple of X chromosomes, you and Ruth Wright have nothing in common. You know, I wasn't happy about trading Dole's death sentence for a shot at Ruth. The odds weren't good, and I didn't want to look soft. For obvious reasons. I also don't believe in it on principle.
I didn't want to turn a murderer into a martyr.
No. We didn't.
It wasn't easy, but finally we agree on something.
No, it wasn't easy. In fact, no part of my life and career has been easy. I grew up in the middle of 4 brothers in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I was a Republican by the time I was 14. There weren't a lot of Republicans in my 9th grade English class or my college sorority. In fact, there still aren't. You know, I worked my way up in this office the same way you did. And I ran against a man whose political leanings were closer to, well, pretty much everyone's in this office other than mine. And you married and divorced a public defender, so having things easy isn't exactly a deal breaker for you either.
You gotta get over this public defender thing. It's not good for the two of us to be hung up on him.
You may be the one person in this office who cares as much about this job as I do. I don't need things easy. I need them good. And I need you to help make that happen. Survive the getting there.
Yes, we will. We'll sure as hell do something.
To ensure justice for all the people, the legal profession needs women from diverse educational, ethnic, and economic backgrounds to become lawyers.
Lifetime Television and the National Conference of Women's Bar Association are teaming up to encourage women to make a difference by entering the legal profession.
For more information about going into law, visit lifetimetv.com.
At 10 next Sunday night on an all-new For the People. Meet the two most powerful women in L.A.
One of my deputies died during a surgical procedure.
What kind of procedure was it?
Liposuction.
Justice must be served.
I'd be thrilled to get this guy on a malpractice suit.
But could the DA's office be to blame?
She had liposuction as she thought her weight was keeping her from being promoted.
This wouldn't have happened if it weren't for the way your office treats people.
Leah Thompson and Debbie Morgan. For the People. At 10 next Sunday night only on Lifetime.
Camille, that's the last pot of the day, and I'm not sure which day.
I'm not a snob. Will you hand these over to Anita when you see her, please?
I will, as soon as my boss gets back from making a serial batterer and his public defender cry like little girls. I will.
Thank you. So, who's going where, and what are they bringing me back as a souvenir?
Me? No, at least part of me is going away.
Can the part that's staying explain that a little better?
This is Dina's liposuction party. Yeah, I'm having it done on Monday, and I can't wait.
I didn't even know these existed.
Well, I'm being reshaped, which is for sure speak for getting the fat sucked out. I'm thinking about having Botox. Well, it stops underarm swelling.
The idea of having anything injected into my armpits makes me sweat. Good luck with your reshaping. Have a great weekend, everybody. You too.
Bye. Money.
Take it easy, Camille. A toast to Dina Cole. Dina!
Here, I've got the facts.
All right, let's get going.
My sitting in on your staff meeting isn't a problem, is it?
You're the boss. Anita, what happened with your serial batter?
Oh, I added attempted assault against an 98 to his list of charges.